What is the biggest struggle in life? Is it the struggle with our family? Is it the struggle with our friends? Is it the struggle with money? Yes, these are issues that affect our lives a lot, but our real struggle in life is the fight for recognition. Hegel interpreted the struggle for recognition as a life and death struggle. In other words, recognition is an existential phenomenon. Recognition is linked to our qualities. The person who wants to be recognized will present certain qualities as a whole. In fact, he or she expresses what he or she has and what he or she wants to be. The name is the first step to recognition because it is the expression of the qualities that need to be known. Gilgamesh and Enkidu's struggle is actually to make their name, their glory known. Characterizations such as name, fame, or reputation are important for human existence. Existence is linked to being known, recognized, and approved. A person who realizes that he is a finite being, that is, a person who realizes death, feels the desire to develop a personal narrative. He or she tries to perpetuate his or her existence by making sense of it with quality, identity, and name. Memory therefore plays a role in the continuation of existence. After death, memory becomes one of the driving forces of the struggle for recognition. Death thus appears as an important element of human existence. Antigone by Sophocles is a story where we can see this struggle very clearly. According to the legend, Oedipus, who unwittingly killed his father and became king by marrying his mother, had two sons, Eteocles and Polyneikes, and two daughters, Antigone and Ismene. His mother hangs herself when she realizes who Oedipus is. Oedipus then blinds himself. His sons agree to take the throne each year in turn. However, Eteocles does not hand over the throne to his brother Polyneikes when it is his brother's turn. In order to seize the throne, Polyneikes marries the daughter of the king of Argos and attacks Thebai. The two brothers kill each other in this duel, and their uncle Kreon takes the throne. Antigone's story begins here. Kreon buries Eteocles, who died in defense of his homeland, with a ceremony worthy of heroes. He also feeds Polyneikes' body to wild animals for treason. Antigone cannot accept this humiliation of her dead brother. In ancient Greek belief, a death ceremony is required for the dead to pass on to the afterlife. Kreon wanted to prevent this and imposed prohibitions to prevent this ceremony. What Kreon really wants to do here is to prevent Polyneikes from living with his reputation in the society by not allowing him to be buried. In ancient Greek belief, the word death is used for those who have lost their memory. Antigone wants to bury her brother against all these prohibitions. She struggles for him to belong somewhere. She embarks on this struggle even at the risk of death. Her sister Ismene is not as brave as her. He cannot risk death. Ismene thinks that one should submit to society and power. In other words, one should not try to do things out of one's depth. Antigone manages to bury her brother. After a short time, she is caught. Antigone does not deny what she has done. She accepts it. She has no fear. She is willing to break the law because the law that matters to her is the divine one. Kreon insists on punishing Antigone, his niece and daughter-in-law. He tries to convince his son Hymen that his wife Antigone is an enemy and that he should treat her as such. However, Hymen criticizes his father and sides with his wife. Kreon locks Antigone in a cave. Kreon tells Antigone that he does not care what happens to her, but things will not go as Kreon wants. Antigone's fame is spreading. Kreon listens to no one and continues to imprison Antigone until the oracle comes and warns him. The oracle tells Kreon that what he is doing is not right and that bad things will happen to him if he doesn't turn back now. Kreon takes these words seriously. He immediately orders his men to get Antigone out, and they go to the cave. When they enter the cave, they see Antigone in Hymen's hands. Hymen is wailing bitterly. Antigone had committed suicide. Hymen also commits suicide on the spot. Hearing this, his mother can't bear Hymen's pain and takes her own life. Now the whole family is torn apart. Antigone committed suicide for a reason. She went to the world of the dead, spreading her fame. Her death was honorable and accepted by the people. She has sealed her own fate. Her death was not due to illness or a dagger wound. He was the first person to descend alive. The reason why it is said alive here is because he is still alive in the minds of the people. He is still recognized and respected. The cessation of communication and relationship prevents recognition and existence. Kreon deprives Antigone of even the tears of her loved ones, making her neither dead nor alive. This is petrification, objectification. When loneliness takes over completely, one begins to consume oneself. This is a blow to consciousness. Antigone resists this. She wanted to exist in memory. As I said at the beginning of the video, Hegel called this a life and death struggle. If people do not exist in the minds of others, they are as good as dead. Antigone refused to be cut off from the minds of her friends and loved ones. She fought against it. She preferred dying physically to dying in memory. This was a much more honorable act. This was immortality. Her sister Ismene didn't dare. Ismene wanted to die with Antigone, but Antigone refused because she didn't want her to share in something she hadn't fought for. For people like Antigone, it was much more important to die with honor than to live without honor. Would we have made the same decision in such a situation? The answer to this question is really difficult, but I want you to think about it. How many people would follow Antigone's path? How many would die for her honor? Or would most of us, like Ismene, keep quiet and accept it, lest we get into trouble? When we think about our own lives, the difficulty of Antigone's actions becomes clearer. Antigone's struggle has become a symbol of the struggle to preserve human dignity. She struggled to stay in the minds of people even after death, and this goal gave her strength. This story of Sophocles is a very good example of the struggle of human beings against the threats of becoming isolated and disappearing from the minds. As Hegel said, this is a life and death struggle.